welcome back to my channel. This is Pashwika. Welcome to the finance channel where we talk about the finance, crypto and NFTs. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the gas fee. What exactly is it? If you're really looking forward to getting started with the NFTs for making your own NFT, you really need to look into that gas fee. What is that and how you can actually surpass that? So that you don't need to pay a lot of the fees in the upfront to make your NFT and to start selling them. So let's dive in. Before we go past, consider clicking the like button, guys. I do really appreciate that. If you want more such video, consider subscribing, hit the bell icon, so whenever we upload new videos, you'll be getting notified about it. Also, we upload weekly videos, so when we do so, you'll be getting notified about it. Let's dive in with today's video. So first of all, I have already made a video talking about what exactly the NFT is. It's quite basic and simple terms. If you don't know about it, make sure you check that video in the card section above. And also, I made another video talking about that. I made my first NFT and talking about my experience, where I'm selling and all those kind of stuff. So make sure you check both those videos in the card section above. But let's talk about today's video about the gas fees. What it is. So gas is a unit that measures the amount of computational power required to perform a transaction on the blockchain. So NFTs and non-fungible tokens are actually a place on the blockchain. It's quite simple. Now it could be more elaborate. I'm not going to go into that coding stuff and all those kind of stuff. I'm going to be talking about a layman perspective to actually understand it. So the NFT is there on the blockchain. So whenever someone is buying the NFT or selling the NFT or any kind of transaction is happening on that blockchain where the NFT is, it requires an energy. It requires a power of a computer, or you can call it a PC, whatever it is. So it requires an energy, and that energy is called as a gas. Okay, so that energy that is being used for selling the NFTs or buying the NFTs at the Ethereum. Of course, there are a lot many other as well, but this one is the most common. And each step needs resources to perform, and someone needs to pay for the use of these resources. So every transaction is happening, it requires an energy. So for that energy, someone has to pay. Either the buyer is paying that, or either the seller is paying for that particular gas fee that's happening for that particular transaction. The miners won't pay for these out of their pocket, so it's the end users who have to pay for the use of this particular energy to execute a transaction on the blockchain. This fee that you have to pay for the amount of gas that is used for your transaction is known as the gas fee. So that you have to pay that fee for that particular energy, and that is called as the gas fee. So gas fee is separate from the price of the Ethereum, that is the Ethereum's native cryptocurrency Ether, and has nothing to do with its value. So gas fee is completely different from the Ethereum value, but it's a little bit different. Let me talk a little bit more about it. So gas fee is a very small fraction of the Ether. So its unit is Gwei, whatever you call it. Its unit is Gwei, which is equal to 0.00000001 Ethereum. You have to compensate the use of the Ethereum virtual machine, that is to ask miners to perform a transaction on your behalf in generally a few Gwei. Okay, so you have to pay that transaction fees, or you can call it basic as the transaction fees, the energy fees, the gas fees, and its in unit is a Gwei. And how much I have to pay? Is it really your standard gas fee that I have to pay for selling my NFTs or buying the NFTs for the transaction, or it just fluctuate? So that it does fluctuate a lot. And why does it fluctuate, and how does it actually fluctuate, and how you can surpass that? Let's talk about all those questions right now. So why do gas prices fluctuate? That's really simple. Since gas fees keeps on fluctuating, why do gas fees rise sometimes? The simplest answer behind this: supply and the demand. When the more people are doing the transaction, that means the more energy is being required, so gas fee goes high. And with less people are doing the transaction, that means the less gas fees, less gas is being, or less energy is being utilized. That means there is a decrease in the gas fee. So when the demand for the Ethereum network is high, the amount of gas fee increases. Obviously, when the demand is high, people need more, so many transactions and happening. So gas fee increases. When the demand for the network is high, miners can choose to ignore the request where the gas fee is less. Obviously, when to ignore the request where the gas fee is low. We have even exceeded the actual price of the NFT by thousands of dollars. Yes, that's why the people lose their money while selling the NFTs, because the gas fee is so high that it's actually high the price of the actual NFT. Gas fees also varies depending on the speed of the transaction. If you want your transaction to execute faster, you will have to pay more. So for example, there is a huge demand, then the gas fee rises. Another is that if you want your transaction to happen faster, then you have to pay the high gas fee to happen it faster. So any kind of NFTs, for every NFTs, like do you have to pay the gas fee for every NFT, or there is some criteria that you have to pay the NFTs for only one particular kind of transactions, or for only one particular kind of cryptocurrency transaction? Is there something like that? Let's talk about that. And there are a lot of the actions for which you have to pay the gas fees, not just for the buying and selling. If you're converting your Ethereum currency into the wheat, then also you have to pay the gas fee. Or if you are actually adding the funds to your wallet, then also you have to pay the gas fee. So creating an NFT, whenever you go to create your NFT, you will most likely have to pay the gas fees. That's quite obvious, okay? But there is one secret way in which you can surpass this gas fee, and that's really mind-blowing, and that allowed me to start selling my first NFT. I'm gonna talk that thing in a second, guys. So to create an NFT, you have to mint its token on the blockchain. Minting a token on the blockchain means including the information about the smart contract of the NFT and its metadata on a block in the blockchain. Track with the blockchain, you'll need to pay the gas fees. Some marketplaces like OpenSea, Rarible offer the option of lazy minting, but not all marketplaces do. Lazy minting puts off the minting of your NFT token on a blockchain to a later time when someone buys it. In most of these instances, it's generally the buyer who has to pay the gas fee instead of the seller. Nevertheless, a gas fee is required in one way or the other. Most marketplaces don't charge any fees, but some do charge service fees right away. Yes, I think depending on the marketplace, you have to see whether they are charging you the service fee in the upfront or whether they are charging you the service fee when you are actually making a sale. So you have to go into much detail whenever you're choosing a marketplace for selling your NFTs. A few marketplaces follow the model where the buyer pays a gas fee when you sell an NFT at a fixed price. When you auction off the NFT, most marketplaces require you to pay the gas fee to accept the highest bid. That's also the way in which you are paying the gas fee when you're having an auction. Like if you're placing your NFT on auction, then also you have to pay the gas fee for that highest bid. So depending on the supply, demand, speed, and all those kind of stuff, but also depending on the whatever marketplace you're choosing, it will going to vary whether you want to pay, whether you have to pay the gas fee or whether the seller is paying. How you know what exactly the gas fee is, why it's taken, how it actually varies a lot depending on the different marketplaces, depending on whatever you're going with, whether you're going with the Rarible, OpenSea, or whether you're going with the foundation, or whatever the kind of the marketplace is. This gas fee varies a lot, and apart from that, you might have to pay the service fee depending on that particular marketplace. Some of them may charge you when you're making a sale, and some of them may charge you before upfront only. So you have to look into that particular thing. But now I'm going to be talking about some of the ways in which you can avoid this gas fee. I'm going to be talking about the OpenSea and the thing that I've actually did for my first NFT. So I'm going to be talking about that. There is a way in which you can avoid this gas fee, because if you're selling your NFT at a lower price and you're paying a huge of the gas fee in the upfront and in that transaction, then you might not profit out for your selling your NFT. So there is a way in which you can bypass this NFT. There is a way. So let's talk about that. The way in which you can go that, instead of choosing the Ethereum, you can go with the Polygon. Like on the OpenSea, I'm talking about the OpenSea marketplace. Now it depends on the marketplace which you are choosing for selling the NFTs. Some of the marketplace do have that option, some of them don't have it, so it depends on that. So you have to do your research. But let's talk about the OpenSea. If you're selling on the OpenSea, then you are getting the two options, two different kinds of the cryptocurrency option, whether the Ethereum or Polygon. If you are going with the Polygon, then you are actually bypassing the gas fees. How is that possible? Because Ethereum is the main currency that's working, and Polygon is the currency that's working in creating the side chains in the Ethereum and happening that particular transaction. So in that way, you can surpass that gas fee, but obviously you have to pay transaction fees. You also have to pay the transaction that is happening in the Polygon, but it just surpasses a lot of the gas fee that you are paying for the Ethereum. So if you're looking forward to sell your NFT without paying the gas fee, then you can select the Polygon. When you are getting started with the OpenSea marketplace, make sure you select the Polygon instead of the Ethereum, and in this way you can start selling your first NFT without paying any gas fee or without paying any service fees in the upfront. Of course, the OpenSea will going to charge that particular kind of service fees when you made a sale, but this is the very best way to actually surpass the gas fee, so you don't have to pay one when you are going with the Polygon. Now you would be thinking, what is the difference between the Polygon and the Ethereum? Like, why you have to pay the gas fee in the Ethereum and why you don't have to pay that much of the gas fee in the Polygon. What's the difference between them? Is Polygon really worth it? Should I really need to go with that, or do I have to go with the Ethereum and pay the gas fee? Well, consider subscribing this channel, guys, because in the next upcoming videos, that is in the next week, I'm going to be talking about the difference between the Ethereum and the Polygon. What are these currencies are, what's the difference between them, and why Ethereum needs a gas fee for the transactions, and why Polygon doesn't take that much of the gas fee in comparison to the Ethereum. Also, the Polygon may take the gas fees in the transaction, but it's not taking that much as the Ethereum is taking. Why is that so? And why it's actually helping you to start selling your NFTs without paying any upfront gas fee. Why is that so? So I'm going to be talking about these two difference between the Ethereum and the Polygon in my next future video, in my next week video. So consider subscribing if you're really interested and looking forward to understand what exactly the Ethereum is, what exactly the Polygon is, and what's the difference between them, and why you have to pay a lot of the gas fee in the Ethereum and less gas fee in the Polygon, and you can start selling your forced NFT without paying any gas fee in case of the Polygon. Why is that possible? What's the difference between them? So I'm going to be covering that thing in my next future week's video, but hopefully this video has cleared your doubt about what exactly the gas fees is, what is the unit of the gas fee, how much you have to pay, how much it varies, and how you can surpass that by going with the Polygon instead of the Ethereum. So hopefully this video have cleared your doubts about the gas fee. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. I would really love to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. See you for the next time. Take care. Bye, guys.